Maya loved visiting her father at work, even if the towering glass building always made her feel small. That afternoon, she carried a warm container of his favorite homemade lunch, carefully balancing it in her hands as she stepped into the vast marble-floored lobby. She scanned the crowd, looking for him, when she suddenly collided with someone rounding the corner. The impact jolted her, and before she could react, a cup of steaming coffee slipped from the man's hand, splattering across his pristine white shirt and expensive suit. She froze, eyes wide, her voice trembling as she stammered an apology. The man looked down at her, then smirked, an expression that carried more insult than anger. "Well, look who we have here," he said loudly, making sure everyone in earshot could hear. "Just the janitor's kid, causing trouble. How fitting." A few employees chuckled uncomfortably, while others turned away, pretending not to see. Maya felt her cheeks burn, her stomach twist. She wanted to vanish into the shiny floor. The man, now clearly the CEO, shook his head as though she were beneath his notice and muttered something about people knowing their place, before striding toward the elevators. Her father appeared moments later, concern etched across his face. Placing a gentle arm around her shoulders, he said quietly, "She's here to bring me lunch." The CEO didn't turn back. The lobby slowly returned to its rhythm, but the moment lingered like a heavy cloud. Maya clutched the lunchbox tighter, her throat thick with unspoken words. She didn't understand how someone could treat her like that without even knowing her. That sting stayed with her, and deep inside, a small spark of determination began to form, one that would, in time, change everything. That night, Maya sat on her bed, knees tucked under her chin, the humiliation still fresh. The CEO's mocking words replayed in her mind, each one stinging more than the last. She could still see the way people had looked at her, some with pity, others with quiet amusement, as if she didn't belong in that shining tower. Her father knocked gently before stepping into her room, carrying a cup of warm milk. He didn't ask what was wrong, he already knew. Sitting beside her, he handed her the cup and said softly, "People can laugh at you, Maya, they can call you names, but they can't take away your kindness, your ideas, or your dreams." She stared into the milk, her voice small. "But why would he treat me like that? He doesn't even know me." Her father sighed, his eyes thoughtful. "Some people think their title makes them better. But real worth isn't measured by money or power, it's measured by how you treat others." He gave her a gentle smile. "You've got something he'll never be able to buy, compassion." After he left, Maya reached under her pillow and pulled out a small, worn notebook. Flipping through pages filled with sketches and ideas, she stopped on one. A foldable mop she'd been designing for months to make cleaning easier. She had built it in her mind from scraps she'd seen in thrift stores, imagining how it might help her father's aching back. She traced the lines of her drawing with her finger, the embarrassment in her chest slowly hardening into resolve. The CEO had dismissed her as, just the janitor's kid, but one day, she would prove she was more than that. And when that day came, no one, not even him, would see it coming. A week later, the company lobby buzzed with excitement for Innovation Day, an annual event where employees pitched new ideas to improve the business. Maya had no invitation and no permission to be there, but she walked in anyway, clutching a small cloth bag. Her father spotted her from across the room, pushing his cleaning cart, and gave her a puzzled look. She simply offered a small, reassuring smile. One by one, presenters in sleek suits took the stage, showing off polished apps, costly machines, and high-tech gadgets. The CEO sat in the front row, his face calm but his posture radiating authority. Maya stood quietly at the back, her heart racing. When the host announced a short break before the final presentation, she saw her chance. Taking a deep breath, she walked straight down the aisle and climbed onto the stage. Murmurs rippled through the audience. Her father started toward her, but she lifted her hand to stop him. "I know I'm not an employee," she said, her voice shaking at first, "but I have something that might help." The CEO leaned back in his chair, smirking. "This should be interesting," he muttered. Maya reached into her bag and pulled out her invention, a lightweight, foldable mop with a rotating head, made from recycled parts. She explained how it could clean faster, reach tight spaces, and reduce strain for janitors, all at a fraction of the cost of current tools. As she demonstrated, the smirks faded. People leaned forward, studying every detail. When she finished, silence filled the room, then one person clapped, then another, until the applause swelled into a standing ovation. Her father stood off stage, his eyes glistening with pride. For the first time since that awful day, Maya felt powerful. The applause filled the room, but Maya stood still, clutching her mop, unsure what would happen next. Then the CEO rose from his seat, his face unreadable. The noise died instantly as he walked toward the stage, each step echoing through the hall. He stopped in front of her, glancing at the mop, then meeting her eyes. "You made this?" he asked, his voice quieter than she expected. Maya nodded. "By yourself?" Another nod. He paused for a moment, then spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear. "I owe you an apology." Gasps rippled through the audience. Maya blinked, wondering if she'd heard correctly. The same man who had laughed at her in the lobby was now admitting he was wrong. "I underestimated you," he continued. "And I underestimated your father. What you've done here, solving a real problem, with heart and ingenuity, is something this company needs." He turned to his assistant. "I want this product made immediately. And I want her education sponsored. Any school she chooses, we'll cover it." Her father stepped forward, emotion thick in his voice. "Sir, that's very kind, but—" "No buts," the CEO interrupted, a faint smile breaking his usual sternness. "She's earned it." The audience erupted into applause again, louder than before. Maya glanced at her father, his pride was written all over his face. She realized this moment wasn't just about the invention or the scholarship. It was about taking the insult meant to diminish her and turning it into a reason to stand taller than she ever had before. Months later, Maya's invention wasn't just an idea. It was in every branch of the company. Janitors moved with ease, their work faster and less exhausting, many of them smiling as they used the tool she had built from scraps in her bedroom. It had been nicknamed the Maya Mop, and the name stuck. At the company's annual gathering, Maya was invited back, not as a guest's child, but as the final speaker of the evening. Walking on stage, she felt no trace of the nervousness that once gripped her. The CEO himself introduced her, calling her proof that talent and vision can come from anywhere. The applause started before she even spoke. Scanning the crowd, she found her father near the back, wearing his best shirt, pride shining in his eyes. She took a deep breath. "When I first came here, I thought I didn't belong. I was wrong. We all belong anywhere hard work, kindness, and creativity are valued. My father taught me that titles don't define us, our actions do. If someone tells you you're not enough because of where you come from, remember. Your heart and your mind are all the qualifications you'll ever need." The crowd rose to its feet, the applause thunderous, but Maya's eyes stayed on her father. In that moment, she knew she wasn't just the janitor's daughter anymore, she was someone who had proven that even the smallest act of care could ripple outward and change the world.